Hello everyone, welcome once again. We are almost nearing at the end of the control phase, and also we are nearing towards the end of the project. This training also talks about that we are working on a project. So in this session we'll talk about that we have to show the before and after analysis, comparison analysis of the process that we had picked up. So if you remember, in the measure phase we had calculated certain metrics of the process. We had calculated what is the central tendency of the process, which we calculated using mean, median. We also calculated the standard deviation of the process using the standard deviation, with the variation in the process using standard deviation. We calculated the DPMO, we calculated the sigma level. We also looked at different types of waste in a process. We calculated certain metrics from swim lanes, such as how much is the turnaround time, how many lanes are there, how many follow-ups are there. You can see all these metrics on my screen. How many follow-ups are there, which lane takes the maximum time, which lane is the slowest, how many handoffs are happening, how many follow-ups are happening, how much time is spending only in follow-ups, how many approval steps are there, how many decision making steps are there. So this information that you captured when you started the project, this was the baseline, current state of the process when we had started. And now you have improved the process. So now when we have improved the process using the new solutions, we need to see all the measures that we have taken in the measure phase. Do they still hold? What has changed in those process? In all those baseline, what has changed in all those metrics that we had calculated in the measure phase? So we again calculate all those metrics once again, what we had calculated in the measure phase. So we again calculate the average time, the mean, the median. We again calculate the range or standard deviation. We again calculate the DPMO and sigma level, just to check, has the DPMO reduced, has the sigma level increased or not, has there been a change in the standard deviation, has it reduced or not. So that's key to understand. Similarly, we then try to understand the kind of waste we had identified in the process. All the TIM wood, do we still have rework in the process? Are we still over processing? Are we still doing any overproduction? Do we still have the high level of inventory? Do we still have the same level of follow-up in the process? The lane which was the slowest earlier, is that still slowest? Has the total turnaround time reduced or not? Are we still doing the same number of follow-ups? Are we still as complex as we were before when we prepared this process? Are we still in the same state of process when we had started? That's the before and after analysis we have to conduct, and we have to write a percentage improvement that you can see on the screen. So on the screen you have a column which talks about the key metrics that we had looked at. The second column talks about what are the same metrics, but what is their baseline now after you implemented the solutions, and the fourth column talks about the percentage change. There has to be a percentage change in all of them. Not all of them you wrote in the goal statement. In the goal statement we had written a metric that was a key metric for this process. So the goal statement had a metric that should definitely improve over a period of time and with the help of these solutions. But these were all the metrics that we used to understand the baseline of that process. The process should also tell us that these metrics have also improved with the help of these solutions. So that's a key to understand here. And before and after analysis needs to be done. Similarly, we should also understand, in fact we shall have this data when we started the project. This is an advanced concept, that's why we have not looked on it in a detailed manner. When we started the project, we started the training in the defined field, we should also know the cost of doing the process. If the cost of doing the process was X when we started the project, the cost of doing the same process now should be less. This financial assessment should also be done. The money that we're spending, for example, if we had 5 recruiters who were hiring employees, and we wanted to hire more employees, but we did not want to hire more recruiters. So we improved the efficiency of the recruiter only. We trained them in such a way that they were able to hire more employees now. So now what you see, the salary has not increased for these recruiters, but they are able to hire more employees. Efficiency has improved. So what do we see if we do a cost benefit assessment here? Whatever money that we invested in this project, that will give you a return on investment. This entire project was an investment. The return is that we did not have to hire an additional recruiter to increase our hiring process. We did not have to do any of that, because the same number of recruiter became more efficient and were able to complete the hiring process efficiently. They were able to hire a person in a less time, and over a period of time this efficiency will give you more benefit and will start returning the money. So that's where the cost benefit assessment comes very handy. Along with the before and after analysis, a certain cost benefit analysis will also help. What was the cost associated of doing this process earlier? What is the cost associated of doing this process now? So that's a little detail about little information about the cost and the benefit information here, and also the before and after analysis of a process that we are looking at. Because when we are closing a project, this is the key information that your business sponsor and your project coach will be interested. Whatever question they would have asked you in all the toll gates, it all leads to this question now: did you see any change in the process performance? What changes have you seen in the process performance now? What kind of improvements have you seen? Your goal was to improve this process by 50%. Are we at 50%? Is it more or less? They will ask you these questions. Has the DPMO reduced? Have the number of errors reduced? Has the overall standard deviation reduced? So they are going to ask these questions. That's why it's important for us to ensure that we should have this information handy with us, to ensure that we have already conducted before and after analysis. This will give a project leader confidence that the solutions are working. And you should also have a future plan ready, that this is the after analysis after 3 months. In another 3 months, we may expect a further improvement in the process, and that's again a talking thing that we can always do as part of the review with the business coach and the project coach. So that's about the before and after analysis. In the next session, we'll talk about the project toll gates and how to close a project. Thank you for watching. This is Shivendra Sharma.